Alderman Lopez.
Thank you, Madam President. Can you instruct the Sergeant at Arms to inform the members in the annex that we have a roll call vote going on because the speakers are not working? I see 3 people. There are 3 aldermen in the annex. Instruct the Sergeant at Arms to bring them in.
Other meetings, the Sergeant at Arms will declare there's a roll call. The Sergeant at Arms has not walked in there and told them that we are roll calling right now. Please bring them in.
I'm going to decline that motion. Alderman Beal, do you have a motion?
Well, Madam President, I do have a motion. However, my motion is going to be prolonged because I do have a few things to say while we go and grab the people in the back in order to have a quorum. And so, Madam President, this is a very, very important issue that the people of Chicago are looking to have answered. Yes, Madam President.
Alderman Beal, I believe that your options are to either make a motion to recess or to adjourn. Excuse me.
Well, Madam
Yes.
President, knowing that you are giving me a couple of options, and the Sergeant at Arms is gathering the people in the back that are playing hide and go seek when it comes to the people's business, I'll make a motion that we recess until 9:45 Tuesday morning.
Alderman Beal, might I just suggest perhaps we motion to recess for a time we're not in council?
Well, we don't have council until 10 o'clock.
Okay.
We have council at 10 o'clock Tuesday morning, so I think 9:45 is sufficient time to pass one particular ordinance out of this body as a whole in order to get to the 10 o'clock meeting.
Madam Clerk, can you please take a roll on the matter to recess till Tuesday morning at 9:45?
Oh, there's Alderman Mitch. We have 26, Madam President. Coleman? Was Coleman on the roll?
Yeah, she's right here.
We have Coleman and Mitch here. We have 27.
Madam
We have
Clerk,
quorum.
I believe we just need to take the roll to ensure we have quorum.
Excuse me. So we are taking quorum roll call. One more time. Okay. Are we ready? Okay. Just give us 1 second to upload it.
The chair recognizes Alderman Spasato.
And I'm sorry I have to go there, but I just have one question. I legitimately don't know the answer to this, and they need a lot to answer this. We already took a roll call. We already took a... Okay. All right. All right, just go on.
So, Madam Clerk, please take the roll.
Okay, I got it. Okay.
Madam Clerk.
Alderman Spasato, not present in...
Madam Clerk, we are recessing till Tuesday at 9:45 a.m. Do we have quorum? Do we have quorum? Okay. Madam Clerk, pardon me, I apologize. I'm a little new. Shh. Folks in the back, just have a little grace with me. I'm a little new today. I apologize, Alderman Beal. Madam Clerk, please take the roll for quorum. I apologize.
Okay. Alderman Spasato. Alderman Spasato, not present in chambers. Alderman Hopkins.
Present.
Alderman Hopkins is present. Alderwoman Dowle, not present in chambers. Alderperson Robinson, not present in chambers. Alderman Yancey. Alderman Yancey is present. Alderman Hall, not present in chambers. Alderman Mitchell. Alderman Mitchell is present. Alderwoman Harris, not present in chambers. Alderman Beal.
Yep.
Alderman Beal is present. Alderman Chico.
Present.
Alderman Chico is present. Alderwoman Lee. Present. Alderwoman Lee is present. Alderwoman Ramirez, not present in chambers. Alderman Quinn.
Here.
Alderman Quinn is present. Alderwoman Gutierrez, not present in chambers. Alderman Lopez.
Present.
Alderman Lopez is present. Alderwoman Coleman.
Coleman is present.
Alderwoman Coleman is present. Alderman Moore.
Present.
Alderman Moore is present. Alderman Curtis.
Present.
Alderman Curtis is present. Alderman O'Shea.
Here.
Alderman O'Shea is present. Alderwoman Taylor, not present in chambers. Alderman Mosley.
Present.
Alderman Mosley is not present. Is present, I'm sorry. Alderman Mosley is present. Alderman Rodriguez, not present. Alderman Tabarez.
Here.
Alderman Tabarez is present. Alderwoman Scott.
Present.
Alderwoman Scott is present. Alderman Sigcho Lopez, not present. Alderperson Fuentes, not present. Alderman Burnett, not present. Alderman Irvin.
Present.
Alderman Irvin is present. Alderman Taliaferro.
Present.
Alderman Taliaferro is present. Alderwoman Cruz, not present. Alderman Cardona.
Present.
Alderman Cardona is present. Alderman Wagasback.
Present.
Alderman Wagasback is present. Alderperson Rodriguez Sanchez, not present. Alderman Conway, not present. Alderman Ramirez Rosa. Alderman Ramirez Rosa, not present. Alderman Villegas. Alderman Villegas is present. Alderwoman Mitz. Alderwoman Mitz is present. Alderman Spasato.
Spasato's here.
Alderman Spasato is present. Alderman Vasquez, not present. Alderman Napolitano.
Proud to be present here with my colleagues.
Alderman Napolitano is present. Alderman Riley.
Still here.
Alderman Riley is present. Alderman Knutson, not present. Alderman Lawson, not present. Alderman Gardner.
Present.
Alderman Gardner is present. Alderwoman McClay, not present. Alderman Martin, not present. Alderperson Lanai Hoppenworth, not present. Alderwoman Haddon, not present. Alderwoman Silverstein, not present. President Pro Temp Nugent. I know.
Present.
President Pro Temp Nugent is present.
Present.
Okay. Voting is now closed. Yeah, we have 20.
Okay. Okay. So there are 26 members present. We have a quorum. And that's Silverstone, who else? Can I get a motion to allow, the chair recognizes Alderman Lopez.
Thank you, Madam President. In accordance with our Rules of Order and Procedure, Rule 59, I move to allow Alderwoman Silverstein, Alderman Burnett, and Alderwoman Dowle, if they are still available, to participate remotely and to be added to the quorum.
Hearing no objection, so moved.
29.
We will now have the Pledge of Allegiance. Please rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for the invocation, which will be delivered by Chairman Chris Taliaferro.
Let's bow our heads in prayer. Heavenly Father, we come before you this afternoon. God, we give thanks to your holy name. We thank you for being able to work in this city. We thank you for being able to put the issues of the residents before you and before this council. God, we give thanks for all that you do for us. And God, we ask your mercy, we ask your blessings, and God, we ask your forgiveness. God, we know that we are not perfect people, but as we stand before you, Lord, we ask for your grace. And it's because we are imperfect people, Father, we need that grace. We ask that we can come before you boldly as we present the issues of our public. And we thank you for the opportunity to not only serve you, but to serve the people. I thank you for this opportunity to pray before your holy name. And I pray these things in your Son's name. Amen.
Clerk, please read the call of today's special meeting.
The following call for a special meeting of the City Council was filed in the office of the City Clerk on Tuesday, October 31st, 2023 at 10:06 a.m. Clerk Valencia, we, the undersigned members of the City Council of the City of Chicago, do hereby call a special meeting of the City Council of the City of Chicago to be convened on Thursday, November 2nd, 2023 at 10:30 a.m. The special meeting is for the following purpose and no other purpose whatsoever. For the immediate consideration of a resolution authorizing the following referendum question to be submitted to the voters of the entire City of Chicago for the determination if Chicago should continue to keep its designation as a sanctuary city, R 2023-0004224. For the immediate consideration of a resolution authorizing the following referendum question to be submitted to the voters of the entire City of Chicago for the determination if Chicago shall increase the number of public mental health clinics, R 2023-0005108. For the immediate consideration of a resolution authorizing the following referendum question to be submitted to the voters of the entire City of Chicago for the determination if Chicago shall create flooding mitigation and response plan, R 2023-0005109. Signed, Anthony Beal, Alderman 9th Ward, Marty Quinn, Alderman 13th Ward, Raymond Lopez, Alderman 15th Ward, Silvana Tabares, Alderwoman 23rd Ward, Anthony Napolitano, Alderman 41st Ward.
Madam President, public comment?
Yeah, we will now have public comment.
The council will now begin the public comment period, which is limited to a maximum of 30 minutes. Each speaker is limited to 3 minutes. Speakers cannot yield or transfer their time to another speaker. Any written comments that have been submitted will be posted and made available for automatic review. The first speaker today is Beverly Chan.
Hi, my name is Beverly, but I not speak very good English, and I want to speak my language. But I don't understand why they put the tent and the city, too much people, and they fuck up all the city. I don't, but let me speak my language, okay? Okay. 我唔知道點解政府會做呢啲咁嘅嘢，但係呢，如果咁樣整到成個芝加哥的居民都會影響好大，影響細路、老人，甚至全個美國。而家我唔知道政府點解會做呢啲。好似係毀滅成個美國咁樣。我嚟到美國30年，我自己做工揾錢，從來冇攞過政府乜嘢。但係點解我哋而家咁樣整到成個美國好似冇希望咁樣呢？好似而家美國政府要毀滅成個美國咁樣呢？我哋住喺自己個國家，點解唔好好整好佢？大家都開心，而家整到個個都喺度，好似好彷徨咁樣。而家我哋美國自己本身嘅人都好需要幫助，你冇咁嘅本事，點解要係都要去攞咁多嗰啲難民過嚟呢？ 我覺得我好心痛，因為一開始我嚟到美國我好開心，但係30年我覺得好似美國越嚟越冇希望咁樣。大家住喺美國都想美國好，唔知道政府點解會係咁樣？對呢個而家對美國政府真係好傷心、好失望。你本身美國你要幫嘅人好多都要幫助，我哋俾咁多稅出去，你要幫咗自己美國嘅人先可以去幫人哋。你自己都未整得好，點可以去幫人呢？大家都係齊心，你本身你住喺自己個國家，都想自己個國家好，唔好整到好似人心惶惶，好似打仗咁樣。
Thank you, Ms. Chan. At this point, thank you, Ms. Chan. At this point, Alderman Lee will translate in summary.
陳太，唔該晒，多謝晒你哋今日嚟同我哋講。我啲中文唔係咁好，咁我想同你 translate 少少，得嗎 ？Okay, I'm going to translate. I understood most of what she said. I'm probably not going to get every detail, but in summary, what she said is she's been in this country for 30 years, and she's worked very hard for the things that she has in her home. And she sees that our country right now is falling apart. That there are people that need help in this country already, and what we're doing right now is not actually helping other people. We have to be able to help our own before we can help other people, because there is, and she said that there doesn't seem to be any hope right now in our city.
Thank you very much. Our next speaker is Jacqueline Zuniga.
How disrespectful to be pulling hairs to reconvene. What can be more pressing than the current matters at hand? There was a third unconsidered party that did not stand on this side, consisting of more than concerned citizens representing various neighborhoods within the city of Chicago, who also have my full support. I could discuss the prestigiousness of my family or the amazing neighborhood where I grew up. I am not here to earn your respect. I am here to describe the imagery of a Chicagoan life. When I was 11, I was exposed to children using drugs and alcohol. At 13, I had a gun to my head. On the night of my 18th birthday, I was jumped by 3 women and 1 man. I had 30-something hits to my head and I was unrecognizable. Later that year, I was chased out of Oz Park, and after an excessive car chase, it was approximately 18 city blocks, in Lincoln Park, the other driver was responsible for reimbursing me for breaking my windshield and had gotten a slap on the wrist with court supervision for a year. Later years of my life can be condensed into school and putting work into the home I have now. I did not expect for my neighborhood to be the main discussion for developing a tent facility for 3,500 migrants from another country, seeking asylum, countries away from our own. We are already spread thin and have enough on our plates, as you can tell from the brief that has been my life. It has not been easy. I am grateful and blessed to still be alive to talk to you here today. I personally haven't had gas since July 10th. My gas meters were relocated from the inside of my house to the outside of my house, as were the rest of the houses on my street, and they didn't test for leaks before turning them back on. So who's to say there aren't various leaks in other houses out on my street that had the same work done? I have personally taken it upon myself to help those within my community. Speaking on behalf of a friend, she was let down by the judicial system when a felon that committed another felony with a firearm was re-released on a low bond and murdered her 16-year-old son. When I think about immigration, I think about all the ones in the past that have come here with the same sort of work ethic, have come here with the same sort of pride. They have gotten just as much education as they could extinguish from their home countries and hope to continue to better themselves here. for their well-being, for the life of their families, and future generations to come. We have not only invested financially into our communities, we have invested our lives. When people look at me, they say derogatory things in regard to me being brown, living in this city anyway. I've heard just about everything. I do not let that affect me or hinder me in any sort of way. And I think in regard to that, we need to put ethnic backgrounds aside. We are here as Americans. Citizens or not, we need to help the people that are already here, the undocumented for years already implanted into our society. We do not want a sanctuary city. We do not want a sanctuary state.
Thank you very much for your comments. Our next speaker today is Zoie Lee.
Man, I'm gonna try not to curse, but y'all, man, like, I've been researching Voting Act 29, and this is exactly what's going on. Only thing this time is the Hispanics versus the blacks, and we don't have that strong black leadership that we had with Harold Washington back then. So y'all are letting the Hispanics do whatever they want to do, keep saying we got to have dignity, but the blacks aren't doing enough in your leadership skills. So what's the point of being an alderperson if y'all aren't going to be for the community? That makes no sense. Yes, it's starting to become a race war, but at the end of the day, I know who's going to win because we built this. Okay? This is unconstitutional. This is inhumane. And to come here and to continue to see more Hispanics and Latinos get jobs than blacks here is a disrespect. It's a punch in the face. You want us to continue to understand and see the problem, but y'all don't see the problem in the black culture. Black people are the influence. We wouldn't, y'all know, nobody would be here if it wasn't for us. Okay? This is a whole new generation. This social media, this now, like, you're not gonna allow this to happen. And we're not gonna allow this to happen because we're gonna force you to do the right thing. And if not, y'all getting out of here. I was in Georgia when they flipped that state blue for the first time. I will knock on every senior's door and make them hold their vote. This place will flip red. It'll be a historical moment because y'all not paying attention to them anyway. They're getting displaced. Y'all don't care, but y'all trying to find housing for Venezuelans, for the Latinos, for all that. Y'all keep sending them over here when they need to go back. Y'all, one time have y'all sent ICE there. ICE need to come. There's prostitution that's behind all of these police districts. I live in Streeterville. It's prostitution right up the street. I mean, it's a disrespect. And y'all continue to allow this to happen. Like Mayor Johnson is the most hated. And he's going to continue to be hated. The only people that like him is teachers and some of y'all. Okay? I'm trying to tell you, my tax money is not going to continue to allow this. Y'all need to find our money. You need to put more things in our neighborhoods. Y'all aren't doing nothing. Small businesses, the only thing you're giving it to is Latinos. Nah, it's more than that. This is the most segregated city. And the United States is looking at us.
Ms. Lee, thank you very much for your comments. However, your time has expired. Our next speaker today is Linda Johnson. Our next speaker today is Linda Johnson. Our next speaker today is Maurice Janusis. Your Honor, there are no further speakers who have timely signed up for the public comment period.
Thank you. The floor is open. The chair recognizes Alderman Irvin.
And I told Richie before.
Chair recognizes Alderman Lopez.
Thank you, Madam President.
Did I screw up?
I would
Pardon me one second. Alderman Lopez, I screwed something up. This concludes public comment. The chair recognizes Alderman Lopez. Thank you.
No worries, Madam President.
Apologize.
I would like to move to include Alderman Conway, who has joined us for the purposes of quorum.
Yep, we've included him in.
And Chairman, I'm sorry, forgive me, and in accordance with Rule 59 of the Rules of Order and Procedure, to include Alderwoman Michelle Harris by remote means and participation, and in addition to the quorum.
Hearing no objection, so moved. The chair recognizes Alderman Beal.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, we have 3 items on the agenda. However, my desire is only to ask for 1 item to be voted on in the affirmative. Unlike other people in this body, I don't wish to silence the people from having a voice as far as the Bring Home Chicago ordinance. I want the voters to hear that ordinance and have a chance to vote on it. However, I do believe that we need to have the people also to vote on whether or not they want to remain a sanctuary city. The reason I have brought this with some of my colleagues to the floor is not to eliminate Chicago as a sanctuary city. But what it is to find some kind of compromise and threshold to stop the bleeding that we're undertaking right now. When you look at what the city is dealing with, we're spending, when we had 12,000 migrants, we were spending $31 million a month at that time. We have 20,000 migrants today. So what is the price tag on that now? And we can't get solid answers to what it's costing us right now. Now, we're being asked to vote for a budget that we can't get answers to as far as how much money we're going to be potentially spending next year on the migrants. We're saying we're hoping we get money from the state. I'm hoping we get money from the federal government. I'm hoping money just falls out of the sky. But those are hopes and dreams. We have a physical responsibility to vote on a budget that is sound going forward to get us through 2024. And the budget that's being presented to us does not solve that problem. And so all I'm asking is that we give the people of this great city of Chicago a chance to have a voice on this issue. Now, I guarantee you that if Harold Washington was here today, what he signed into law as an executive order is not what he intended for today. And so when people say, well, Harold Washington did this, times were different. We didn't have people coming to this city by the thousands. Now, when you look at what else is happening in this country, we have other democratic cities, Denver, California, LA, sending their people to Chicago, New York. They're sending their migrants to Chicago. Why? Because they're saying we can't take anymore. Chicago has yet to say we can't take anymore. We have to draw the line somewhere. It's a diversion to continue to say this is a federal problem, we need help from the federal government. Yeah, we know that. But while we're waiting for the federal government to act, we need to be doing something here at home to protect us. Now, we don't even know the people who are coming to Chicago. The people that are coming here, we don't know if they have criminal backgrounds. We don't know if they're child molesters. We don't know if they're murderers. We don't know anything concrete about the people coming here. Now, when you look at what's happening, Venezuela are emptying their jails and telling them to walk to the border. So they're coming to Chicago. We already have enough crime here in the city of Chicago. We have enough crime here that we're dealing with. And so I can go on, but Madam President, and I think you're doing a wonderful job up there, may I add? You're doing a wonderful job. This is just a question, a non-binding question to just ask the people who are paying this $30 and $40 million a month if they want to continue down this road, or do we want to make our elected officials to try to do something different? Now, I've said this before. If you give me 3 meals, housing, child care, education, a voucher for $9,000, you know what? I come to Chicago too. And that's what they're doing. They're telling people, and they're sending money back to back to Venezuela, to come to Chicago because they're saying, hey, the good times are rolling there. They're taking care of everybody. Now, when we have Venezuelans that are driving cars, where did they get a driver's license? Where did they get insurance from? And then you have Venezuelans being caught with drugs and guns. Where are they getting them from? I have a bleeding heart for the people who are coming here that are honestly trying to do better for themselves. I'm with that. But I'm telling you one thing. I'm with my people more. Okay? I'm with my people more. And so all I'm asking is to just put this question on the ballot, non-binding, in order to give the people of this city a voice that they have not had, because nobody ever asked the city of Chicago, do we want to be a sanctuary city? Do we want to be a welcoming city? And I'm going to close on this. This is my third closing. Sanctuary city, a welcoming ordinance, says nothing about we have to provide services and goods. Sanctuary city, all it says is the city of Chicago will not cooperate, organize with the federal government, detain for people to be deported. That's all it says. So where do we get off saying that we have to spend $30 to $40 million a month that we don't have? Now, if you give me $30 to $40 million a month, my ward will look like the north side. If you give any alderman on the south and west side $30 to $40 million a month, you will see a different day. So with that, I'm going to close, and I just hope that my colleagues see fit to just vote on giving the people a voice that they don't have, to see if we want to go down this road. So with that, Madam President, I motion that we pass the first item on the agenda to say whether or not the people of Chicago want to remain a sanctuary city or not. Thank you.
I just first would like to confirm that Alderman Dowle is still with us on the meeting.
I'm here.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair. Okay, the chair recognizes Alderman Napolitano. Okay, the chair recognizes Alderman Lopez.
Thank you, Madam President. I call the question. Ask for a roll call vote.
The chair recognizes Alderman Irvin.
Question has been called and unavailable. I have a point of order. A point of order supersedes your point, sir.
So while I do want us to come to some resolve here, I would prefer that we come to some resolve in the right way. From yesterday's meeting, we took 2 items that were deferred and published. That then requires us to come back to the next regularly scheduled council meeting to deal with those items. One of the items that you want to consider today is one of the items that was deferred and published. That's number 1. Number 2, we don't have 34 members here in order to suspend the rules to take care of any business because all of this stuff is stuck in committee right now. So unfortunately, I would like to get to where you want to go, Alderman, but I would like for us to do it in a proper way that doesn't render us null and void in this particular situation. So I would ask that his item be ruled out of order.
The chair recognizes Alderman Lopez. Chair recognizes you, Alderman Lopez.
Thank you, Madam President. I renew my calling of the question and ask for an immediate roll call vote.
Chair Urban has pointed out that the rules need to be suspended. Is there a motion to suspend the rules?
Order.
Chair recognizes Alderman Hopkins.
Thank you, Madam President. We have a properly issued notice for a special meeting with the sole subject clearly stated. We're in full compliance with the Open Meetings Act. I'm not aware of any rule that needs to be suspended in order for us to take action on that item today. If we have to suspend the rules, we should be stating what rule requires suspension, because I personally don't believe there is one. Thank you.
Alderman Hopkins, our rules dictate that this has to go through the committee process.
That's not true. This is a direct to City Council, Madam President. This is a direct to City Council.
Sorry, Alderman, I haven't recognized you. Just give me a moment. Just to further answer to Alderman Hopkins, pardon me, please. To answer your question, Alderman Hopkins, item 2 was held in the Committee on Rules, but to hear these today, we would need to vote to suspend the rules, and this is under Rules 41 of our Rules of Order and Procedure that states, quote, "All ordinance shall be referred to the appropriate committees and only acted upon by the City Council at a subsequent meeting on the report of the committee," end quote. So this item was held in committee and not reported out. We are back in session. The chair recognizes Alderman Ramirez Rosa.
Madam President, thank you so much for recognizing me. Counting who's in the chamber and who is at the committee on Econ, Capital, and Technology Development, it appears that there are not 26 people here to continue this business. Therefore, then, I request a quorum call, and pending that quorum call, assuming there are not enough people, then I motion that we reconvene Tuesday at 9:45 a.m.
Recognizes the chair, pardon me, the chair recognizes Alderman Lopez.
Thank you, Madam President. 2 things. First off, there was already a motion as well as an appeal on the floor before the alderman of the 35th Ward spoke. 2, we're not even sure if he's in the room because technically he doesn't count towards quorum or the roll call for today because he's been bouncing in and out and is listed as not being present. And I haven't heard him being included in this conversation today. So I would refer back to the original appeal of the decision of the chair by Alderman Beal so that we can proceed. And if the alderman of the 35th Ward would like to make a motion to be included in the roll, he can do that when we're finished.
We need quorum to conduct official business, and the question has been raised whether or not we have quorum. Clerk, please call the roll.
The question's been called by someone not on the roll.
Sorry. Madam Clerk, you can call the roll.
Alderman Spasato, not present. Alderman Hopkins.
Present.
Alderman Hopkins is present. Alderman Dowle, not present in chambers. Alderman Robinson, not present. Can we treat them as, can we treat them? Okay, we're gonna, they're looking into that. I'm gonna continue, we're not gonna not count them just yet, but we're gonna continue forward. We're gonna continue with the members present here, and they're gonna look into that. Okay, so, let's go. Alderperson Robinson, not present in chambers. Alderman Yancey, not present. Alderman Hall, not present. Alderman Mitchell is present. Chairwoman Harris, not present in chambers. Alderman Beal. Alderman Beal is present. Alderman Chico is present. Alderwoman Lee is present. Alderwoman Ramirez, not present. Alderman Quinn is present. Alderwoman Gutierrez, not present. Alderman Lopez.
Whoever heard of that? Having two damn meetings at the same time. Going from one chamber to another. This side of the room is still here present. Who check it down?
Alderman Lopez is present. Alderwoman Coleman, not present. Alderman Moore is present. Alderman Curtis is present. Alderman O'Shea is present. Alderwoman Taylor, not present. Alderman Mosley, not present. Alderman Rodriguez, not present. Alderwoman Tabarez is present. Alderwoman Scott.
I'm present for the fourth time.
Alderwoman Scott is present. Alderman Sigcho Lopez, not present. Alderperson Fuentes, not present. Alderman Burnett, not present. Alderman Irvin.
Present.
Alderman Irvin is present. Alderman Taliaferro.
Present.
Alderman Taliaferro is present. Alderwoman Cruz, not present. Alderman Cardona.
Present.
Alderman Cardona is present. Alderman Wagasback.
Present.
Alderman Wagasback is present. Alderperson Rodriguez Sanchez. Alderperson Rodriguez Sanchez, not present. Alderman Conway.
Present.
Alderman Conway is present. Alderman Ramirez Rosa. Alderman Ramirez Rosa is present. Alderman Villegas. Alderman Villegas is present. Alderwoman Mitz. Alderwoman Mitz not present. Alderman Spasato.
Nick Spasato is still here for the valid quorum we started with.
Alderman Spasato is present. Alderman Vasquez, not present. Alderman Napolitano.
Present for the fourth time.
Alderman Napolitano is present. Alderman Riley.
Still here.
Alderman Riley is present. Alderman Knutson, not present. Alderman Lawson, not present. Alderman Gardner. Alderman Gardner is present. Alderwoman Clay, not present. Alderman Martin, not present. Alderperson Monet Hoppenworth, not present. Alderwoman Haddon, not present. Alderwoman Silverstein, not present. President Pro Temp Nugent.
Present.
President Pro Temp Nugent is present. Did I miss anyone? Alderman Mosley. Alderman Mosley is present. Did anyone else come in? We have 25.
Chair recognizes Alderman Lopez. Yeah, she's counting.
Hold on. Thank you, Madam President. Just as a point of order, this body has already made and approved a motion allowing several people to participate remotely once the initial quorum was made. Nothing in our rules declares their presence voided out by a new quorum call, which means everybody from Silverstein, Burnett, Dowle, and Harris are all to be added to our roll call because this body approved it in accordance with the rules of order and procedure.
At this point, and so we are limited. Chair recognizes Alderman Lopez, Ramirez Rosa.
Thank you so much, Madam President. Given that we do not have quorum per state law, we cannot proceed. Therefore then, I believe we should return back Tuesday at 9:45.
Motion to lay that on the table.
There's been a motion to lay it on the table.
Bringing that Look at him walking around like he's running.
They're like okay. There's been a motion to lay it on the table by, sorry, there's a motion to,
Am I wrong? Isn't this a compromise to not adjourn and then come back or reconvene on Tuesday?
okay. Alderman Lopez, as we don't have quorum, our options are to, hang on. Sorry. So Alderman Lopez, as we don't have quorum, our options are to recess or adjourn. If we don't recess, then we adjourn.
President, what is the number that the clerk has produced?
So the clerk, pardon me, folks, the roll call per the clerk just now was 25.
We have 25 people with 4 people who we've given the right to vote to.
We don't have...
You are intentionally disenfranchising 3 black aldermen right now. You are choosing to disenfranchise 3 African Americans who are elected to represent people in this body. We have already voted to approve their presence.
Alderman Lopez, our only options with 25 that roll call. Pardon me, folks. Pardon me.
There is nothing in this book that says a quorum call invalidates their presence here.
Sergeant at Arms, could you kindly help us? So, thank you for your patience. Under Rule 59, we have to have quorum. There was a fresh quorum call, though, and under Rule 59, without quorum, we cannot take into account the online presence.
Access to be here.
Alderman Lopez, I kindly ask you to offer a motion to recess or adjourn. The chair recognizes Alderman Beal.
Madam President, point of order. I would like for Corporation Counsel to issue an opinion on why those people cannot be counted as present when they were initially added to the roll under Rule 59. I would like to have Corporation Counsel give us a ruling.
Mr. President, Black motion to get in, Chair.
So, under Rule 59, when we took a quorum call, quorum was found lacking, thus we can't take into account the 4 folks that are participating virtually.
Respectfully, when we have a quorum, we voted to allow 4 people into the room. After that point, those people are allowed because we voted to give them the authority to vote and to be present from that point on. You cannot unilaterally say now it's convenient for us, we're going to exclude you because we don't want you in the room. So again, I ask for a ruling from our Corporation Counsel on that issue.
You can give me 1 minute.
It wasn't just participation and that they be counted towards the vote.
Yeah.
Once you establish a quorum, we have a quorum. People walk in and out all the
So we did not have a quorum, and so remote participation is not allowed under the rule. Right now, we have 2 choices. We can either adjourn or recess. The chair recognizes Alderman Lopez.
Madam President, forgive me, but we actually have 3 choices, and I move for the selection of a new temporary presiding officer of this meeting. Fine, let me clarify.
Your motion is
I move that Brendan Riley be selected as temporary presiding officer of this meeting, which is well within our rights during a special meeting or when we're still trying to organize our meeting. Per the rules, per Rule 2, for the selection of a temporary presiding officer. A simple majority of those present, I move Brendan Riley be named by this body to preside over this special meeting. And ask for a roll call vote.
Alderman Lopez, this violates Rule 2 of the orders. We've offered to either recess or adjourn, and without an option to recess, we are going to adjourn.
I appeal the decision of the chair to declare picking a presiding officer out of order.
Again, this meeting is adjourned.
Madam President, we did not vote to adjourn, folks. Don't leave. This is your job. This is